So, at the Game Awards this year, CD Projekt Red finally released a trailer for The Witcher 4 and gave us some new information about this upcoming entry. I'm very excited for this game personally. I used to be more of a casual fan of The Witcher, but it wasn't until around a year ago when I started reading the books for the first time and replayed the games that I became significantly more invested in this franchise than I originally was. Now, I know that like a million other people are probably talking about this new trailer right now on YouTube, but I just really wanted to make a quick video to discuss my thoughts, get them all out of my system, and join in on the excitement for this upcoming game. First of all, let's discuss Ciri. I'm not surprised that Ciri has become the new protagonist. In fact, I was expecting her to be the new protagonist moving forward. It makes a lot of sense. It feels like the most logical and natural choice for her to take over as the new face of the franchise moving forward. Geralt's story is done, it's over. There's nowhere else you can really take his character, and when it comes to his personal story, I feel content and full with what we already have. Whereas with Ciri, on the other hand, not only is there a lot of untapped potential for her character in the world of the Witcher games, but she's also a character who's very beloved by the fanbase. Not only does it make sense for her to be the new protagonist from a storytelling standpoint, but also from a marketing standpoint too, due to how many people love her. I'm sure there's an abundance of Ciri fans out there who are absolutely craving to play a Ciri-centric Witcher game. Plus, during my first playthrough of The Witcher 3, I ended up getting the ending where Ciri becomes a Witcher, and I really enjoyed that ending the most out of all the others, so it's really great to see a continuation of my favorite ending. I also think she looks really cool in this game. I noticed there were a few people who disliked her new look, but personally I think she looks really great. I love the fur around her collar. It's reminiscent of the Grandmaster Ursine armor, which was my favorite gear set in The Witcher 3. Plus, the rest of her armor looks similar to many of Geralt's outfits throughout the games, which helps both characters feel even more connected and intertwined with each other. Also, the hood looks really dope on her. I hope I'll be able to wear hoods in this game, unlike The Witcher 3, where you had to install mods just to get the same hooded cloak that Geralt wears in the trailers. Plus, this is such a small detail, but I love how she has the same sword that Geralt gave her in The Witcher 3. I always thought it was such a cool looking design. Speaking of Ciri's new look and outfit, this leads us to her medallion depicting a lynx. There has been so much speculation over the course of the past few months on what the School of the Lynx could be about, and I feel like I don't have much to say on the matter that hasn't already been said. All I will say is that I feel like it's logical to assume that this is a new Witcher school that Ciri founded by herself, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the School of the Lynx is all about. I'm also looking forward to when CD Projekt Red inevitably makes replicas of the Lynx medallion, just like they did for the wolf and cat medallions. I already own like 4 Witcher medallions because I'm so weirdly obsessed with how cool they are, and I really want to add a Lynx medallion to my little collection someday. Also, fun fact, but if you're new to my channel, you might not know that the Wolf School Witcher medallion was one of 2 inspirations for my personal logo, which represents not just my YouTube channel, but the rest of my creative work as a whole. So yeah, clearly I really love Witcher medallions. Anyway, I'm also curious on what the story for this game could possibly be about. Like, surely there's going to be some sort of conflict or antagonist that Ciri has to overcome. Plus, let's not forget that Ciri is an incredibly overpowered character, so I'm curious to find out why she doesn't seem to have her powers anymore, or at least I assume she doesn't have her powers anymore because she didn't really use them in the trailer. I read a comment on another Witcher 4 video which suggested that the trial of grasses she underwent in order to become a Witcher might have weakened her elder blood or perhaps eradicated it entirely, and I feel like there might be some truth in that theory. Whatever the story ends up being about, it has the potential to feel really fresh, unique, and different because compared to Geralt, who is a seasoned veteran, Ciri is only just starting her journey as a Witcher. So we'll be following her from the beginning of her career as a Witcher, watching as she gradually evolves over time, becoming more and more experienced. She's also a different character to Geralt, being someone who isn't as cold or closed off as Geralt can sometimes be, so I imagine that playing as a character who is in many ways an opposite to Geralt would also feel pretty fresh and different compared to what we're used to. By virtue of Ciri being a different character, a different type of person to Geralt, I'm looking forward to seeing how she handles herself in comparison to Geralt. How does she fight monsters compared to Geralt? How does she tackle all of her quests differently to Geralt? It's going to be really interesting to see how different The Witcher 4 might feel as a video game, as a story, in comparison to The Witcher 3 due to the change in protagonist. This game feels like it has the potential to be the perfect starting off point for a new generation of Witcher fans, especially because it has been almost a decade since The Witcher 3 came out. I definitely hope that The Witcher 4 brings in new fans, especially because I doubt the younger generation will be interested in going all the way back to The Witcher 1 as their entry point. I think what I'm most excited about is that The Witcher 4 feels like a fresh, interesting new chapter for the franchise, for me at least. Especially because, like most fans, I've gotten less and less interested in the Netflix show the longer it's gone on, so it's awesome to finally be getting more Witcher content that reignites my interest for this franchise and instills something fresh, new, and interesting into the mix. I'm also really excited to finally see some gameplay for The Witcher 4. I feel like The Witcher 3 has aged incredibly well from both a graphical and gameplay standpoint, so I have high hopes for The Witcher 4 in those aspects. No doubt the story is going to be really good if CD Projekt's track record is anything to go by, so I have faith that it's going to be great. But I really want to get a general idea of what The Witcher 4 will feel like when you're playing it, whether or not it's going to feel similar to The Witcher 3, or maybe a little bit different, so I hope it won't be long until we finally see some gameplay. Personally, I'm hoping for something that feels similar to The Witcher 3, but far more involved and even more refined. Speaking of gameplay, I also noticed that Ciri uses a chain in the trailer, similar to the one that Geralt uses in the Netflix show and the original Witcher 1 trailer. I think he also used it in the book as well, in one of the short stories. I don't remember too well, it's been a long time since I last read it, but I kinda hope that's going to be a weapon that we can use. Having a chain that we can use to fight monsters with would be a really cool gameplay mechanic, and I'm excited to find out what other new gameplay mechanics there are that will be introduced in this game. Anyway, that's all I have for today's video. I just wanted to make a quick video and put it out there to voice my thoughts and opinions so far on this upcoming game, so I hope you enjoyed. But what are your thoughts and opinions on The Witcher 4? Whatever you think, feel free to let me know in the comments below and like the video. If you're interested in seeing more from me, I cover a lot of movies, shows, video games, and other pop culture that I enjoy on this channel, so if that sounds like content you'd enjoy, feel free to subscribe. I'm also an author, so if you're interested in reading something new, whether that may be sci-fi, fantasy, etc., then feel free to check out my work, links in the description below. But with all that being said, thank you so much for checking out my video, and hopefully I'll see you again in the next one.